Welcome to Pride Rock for a new movie recap. Today the recapped movie is horror thriller film named No One Gets Out Alive. Don't forget to subscribe for more movies recaps every day. Mexico is shown in 1963 at the beginning of the film. While digging, the laborers were removing a box. Following that, a wall is shown. There were a lot of butterflies on it. A girl is shown sitting in her room in the following scene. She becomes aware of the footprints in her room. But there was none, and the girl fled the room, terrified. When she comes out, she notices a mysterious box. Someone pulls the girl after it. Now, we'll find out who kidnapped the girl later. Later, a dreadful structure is shown. It was the residence of that girl. The focus shifts to a female character. Ambar was her name, and she came to America illegally, so she didn't have an ID. The hotel management throws her out due to not giving the ID. Amber does a job in a stitching factory. Ambar sees a poster there was written on it, "We will give you a room at a low rent. Only girls are allowed here." Ambar becomes happy due to it because of what else she needed. Ambar becomes a friend of a girl in the factory. The next day, Ambar reaches the address. She meets the building owner there named Red. It was the same building where the girl disappeared at the start. Ambar asks him who else lives here. He says just a girl except for you lives here. She lives in front of your room and he takes the rent of a month from Ambar as a deposit and asks Ambar to come soon at night. There is nothing allowed like drinking and smoking, so Ambar accepts all this. Then Ambar shifts into that room. When Ambar was moving to sleep at night, she notices a small window on her room's floor. Its path was opening towards the basement. At night, the voices of women and children weeping can be heard from here. Ambar thinks this is strange. She thinks about it at night while sleeping. After it, Ambar sleeps. It is discovered here, the condition of Ambar's mother is not well. That's why Ambar comes here illegally in America for a job. So she will get her mother treated while earning the money. Her mother always appears in her dream. She talks to her often. Ambar meets the girl of the building the next day. It means the girl of the front flat. The girl tells Ambar Red is a bad man, so be careful of him. Saying this, the girl leaves. Ambar ignores that why she said this, and she goes to her factory. Ambar's friend tells her if you want your ID it will cost 3,000. Ambar says why 3,000? But you demanded only 1,000? Her friend claims that because you are not an American, it will cost this much. Ambar goes to her uncle's home, but her uncle asks her to bring her ID for next time. I will do something for your job. Ambar's uncle doesn't know that Ambar doesn't have her ID. He was thinking Ambar has the ID. That's why he can offer her a job. Later, when Ambar reaches her hotel, she hears the strange voices from the basement. Ambar goes there to check. Meanwhile, Red arrives and says to Ambar, it is not allowed to go into the basement. Because it is a private place, Ambar notices a room with weird things. Ambar starts thinking something while seeing those things. Red says while shutting the door this is also a private room and it is not allowed to go in it. It was that private room in which there were many butterflies. We have seen them before. Ambar asks for her deposit money. Because she wants to leave this place. She asks him to cut the money of the days I lived here. Give me the remaining amount. Red refuses to give the money. He says I have used the money and I don't have money right now. Ambar counts the money while going into the room which she had. She sees she has less money because she has to make her ID. Ambar goes to the girl's room, the girl who said Red is a bad man. Going there, Ambar notices the ghost of a girl there. Her eyes were shining. She was wearing weird clothes and Ambar gets scared seeing her. She leaves. At night, Ambar sees her mother's dream while sleeping. A mysterious box is also shown in the dream. It was the same box that is shown at the start of the movie. A hand comes out of the box. The next day, Ambar asks for advance payment from her boss. Her boss refuses her while saying you do a slow job. He sets her on packing while removing her from stitching. After it, Ambar was sitting in a cafe with her friend. Ambar says to her friend as she hands her money over, please make my ID as soon as possible. Ambar was too late while reaching the hotel. She feels strange when she goes into the hotel. She notices a man beating his head on the wall. Ambar goes to her room while ignoring him. Ambar meets the two new girls there. They were looking weird but they were nice. They start talking while smoking. Meanwhile, Red arrives and makes those girls run from there. Ambar asks Red, you said there is no boy allowed. Then who is the man who is beating his head on the wall downstairs? Red says he is my insane brother. That night, Ambar goes to the private room secretly. There she sees strange things. She gets surprised after seeing them. Like there were the ways to torture someone, to end someone. Things were there related to ghosts and black magic. The things that were found in the old era while digging. The next day, Ambar calls her friend but she wasn't picking the call. Ambar goes to the factory and asks her boss about her friend. Her boss says she has left the job. Ambar understands her friend has deceived her. She has run with all her money. After it, when Ambar returns she again listens to the weeping voices of women. Ambar doesn't understand anything that what is going on here. Ambar goes to ask Red where is the girl who lived in the front flat? Red claims she has left numerous times before. Ambar goes to her room and was feeling strange. Ambar notices a weird thing and notices a girl and a lady there. They were souls. The girl's soul was asking for help from Ambar. Please help me. Ambar thinks what should I do to help this girl? But then suddenly, someone pulls the girl. Seeing this, Ambar understands the souls live here. She feels right because this was a haunted place. Ambar gets scared due to it. She goes to Red to take her deposit money while packing her luggage. She does not meet Red, but she does meet his insane brother. He says to Ambar, Red is not here. Ambar goes to another hotel with her luggage. She doesn't have money so she doesn't get any room. After it, Ambar calls Red and says, please give my money back. I need money. Ambar was in a cafe and Red also arrives there. He gives a small amount to Ambar. He says I will give you the remaining amount in the hotel. Because the remaining amount is there. Later, he returns to the haunted hotel with Ambar. He says the rest of your money is in the room, go and take them. Ambar doesn't find anything when she goes into the room to find the money. Red comes from behind and forcefully tries to make Ambar drink wine. Ambar forbids him from doing this. Meanwhile, Red's brother arrives. He forcefully makes Ambar drinks wine. He also beats her. She doesn't understand why these brothers are doing this to her. Ambar was scared of all the situation and doesn't understand anything. The new girls also feel scary. They also sleep in Ambar's room. When they were sleeping, Ambar sees the weird nightmares. After it, they awake. The girls tell Ambar we see the mysterious box in our dreams. Ambar says yes, the box also appears in my dream. The girls say our brother also appears in our dreams. His condition is worse. Ambar says I used to see my mother in my dream being sick. It is discovered here, their dreams were connected and were related to the mysterious box. It is also confirmed here, the girl who disappeared at the start was because of the box. The same box is appearing in the girl's dream. That's why the problem is in the box. Meanwhile, Ambar's uncle also arrives outside the hotel. Red says Ambar doesn't live here. Her uncle says she lives here, I know. Because she has given me this address. That's why he comes inside while pushing Red. He tries to open the door of Ambar's room but then Red's brother attacks him from behind. He beats him until he dies. Later, they take the girls into a room where were the dead bodies of girls. They were wearing strange clothes. These were the same clothes the ghosts have worn. The ghosts who were visible to Ambar. They make them wear the same clothes and later, Red puts something on their body. She asks him to release her. Red refuses to release her. He says I can't do this, my brother used to do all this because of the box. Before my father do this, now my brother does this. He has done this with our mother and now the same will happen to you. After it, Red's brother takes Ambar to the basement while lifting her. On the way, Ambar sees many souls. They were also wearing the same clothes and her eyes were also shining. It is discovered her, Ambar was also wearing the clothes like the girls who are ghosts here. It means Ambar will be one of them. Red's brother takes Ambar to the basement. It was a huge place. There were many candles. There were many dead bodies. But they were headless dead bodies. He makes Ambar lay down and there was the mysterious box in front. The box that was appearing in everyone's dream. Red's brother leaves after it. Ambar's uncle comes and frees her. He was taking her from there. After it, they reach a dark room. Ambar sees she is with her mother. The question is Ambar's uncle died, then who came to save her? Actually, there wasn't anyone who came to save Ambar. Only Ambar was imagining this. Ambar was with her mother in her imaginations. But in reality, she is still laying there in the basement. A weird creature comes out of the box. It was moving forward to Ambar. Ambar sees in her dreams she has ended her mother while pressing her mouth with a pillow. When Ambar awakes being scared, the feature was also disappeared from there. Ambar goes to the private room. There were many weapons and Ambar picked a weapon from them. Then she goes to the brothers and at first, she ends Red. The weapon stabs Red's foot and he falls down being injured. Red's brother was also there, was preparing the other girl for the basement. Ambar hits him but he breaks Ambar's foot while throwing her down. When the other girl tries to escape, Red's brother throws her down from the balcony. Due to it, she dies. After it, Red's brother pulls Ambar outside. He starts pressing Ambar's neck and Ambar was having a glass piece. She hits it in his neck. Due to it, Red's brother falls down being injured. Ambar attacks him several times with the weapon. She hits him until he dies. Later, she takes Red to the basement and lays him down there. The strange creature showed out of the box. It stabs Red's head in its body. It means it separates his head from his body. Ambar comes out and notices her broken foot is healed. Her wounds were also healing. Her eyes color is also shown changed. Let me tell you some important points here. It was the same box that was taken out in 1963 after digging. Red's father got this box. Inside the box was a ghost who had taken over the body of Red's father. Red's father has done everything that the creature asked him to do. After him, Red's brother has done all this, because now the ghost has possessed Red's brother. Now because he died, the ghost has possessed Ambar. Here, the creature will make everything done with the help of Ambar. Like to kill people and do other things similar to this. With it, the movie story comes to an end.